Hi, my name is Edwin Piri based in Lusaka, and I'm going to be teaching you how to do a lot of things concerning tech, graphics, and etc. So today we're going to doing something in tech, which I know a lot of IT personnel out there are trying to do, and maybe they are failing or so. So what I'm going to teach you in this video is how to sync your Google Sheets into Excel offline on your desktop so that you can always, anytime you're in the office, just refresh and have the information flow right in your office without you having gone to Google Drive again. So we're going to be entirely using Google Drive, Google Sheets rather, and Excel. So here we go. So the first thing we're going to do is, we know that you want to, if you are in a company, you are either an HR or IT personnel, want to grab data from people, want to collect data from people and concerning different views of them. So maybe you want to make a simple database on Google on people maybe signing up for a certain workshop. So we're going to create a simple Google database, Google Sheets database, and we're going to collect people's information, and so we can create something from the blank page. So we are going to be creating our form, and our form is going to be maybe a campaign or maybe a workshop form. And here we're going to, before starting this, according to the, you can tweak the options around, the theme around according to your company's colors, or it doesn't matter though if you happen to leave it like this. But for me, I also like to tweak it around, so you can, according to your company colors, you can tweak it around and maybe choose a header for your form. Also here you can upload, what you can do is just go to your offline files, just click some files and just drop onto here, or you can go to your Google Photos that maybe you have used before in your Google. But today we're going to just use maybe a musical workshop, so to discuss about music and whatever. So when you change your header, Google itself will tweak the colors to suit the best colors on your picture that you chose, the header. So this workshop is then going to be a music workshop, and maybe you can include a description like, this form is collecting applicants information right there, so that when someone goes there, they know it is collecting their information. And first and foremost, the first thing you'd like to do when you are making a database is make everything simple for the person who's going to be putting the data there. So you want to make sure that you collect the data as easy as well. So we're going to then make this form collect email addresses as well. And we're not going to do that by going here and start typing email address in here, but we're just going to go to the settings. Okay, the settings have been moved to here. Then if you want to make a quiz, you can make it from there, but here we want to make sure that this is collecting emails and send responders a copy of their response for sure. Yes, we're going to want to do this so that someone can always in their email look at the options that they chose before they can go to that meeting or workshop, just to remind themselves. And then we can, of course, in case of those that make mistakes after submitting, then they note they made a mistake, we can turn on this option to allow response editing. So this allows for one to be able to change responses after being submitted, and we can limit to one response. This means we only want one response per email address or per person. So Google thinks of people to be email addresses. We believe that one person has got one email address. That is what Google thinks here. So other than that, we've got the progress bar in the presentation tab. This is a new loop from Google actually. So we want someone to be able to be inspired of what they are doing by showing them a progress bar of what they're doing, so that they know, okay, I'm finishing right now. And we don't want to shuffle question orders, because we want someone to learn from someone how to do this, then they can easily do it. Otherwise, if it was a quiz, we would have shuffled the question order. Otherwise, a confirmation message can always be put here, and after submission, that this message will be able to be displayed to this applicant. So we'll be adding our own message here, and we're going to be saying congratulations, your application is successful. Missing successful there. Okay, that is okay, so we can save that. Then show link to submit another response, no. View result summary, we don't want that, since someone is going to be able to view to have their responses in their email address after they've submitted. Okay, other than that, we've got disable auto save for all respondents. That we don't care about. We don't want that right now. So we are going to close out this tab and check what is in the defaults. Defaults from results, collect emails, addresses by default. This is one thing we need, but what did we put here? Collect email addresses required to send response copies. Yeah. And here we also have settings, defaults, collect email addresses by default. Maybe we don't want this in the future, so we're going to leave that out. And question defaults, make questions required by default. No, we are going to be doing this involuntarily. So now that we're done setting up our settings, we're going to go back to the questions. Now we've seen that after having clicked activated the collect emails, it is now automatically collecting emails, and it will be the first field when someone goes to this form. So after collecting an email, what we want is to have a section now where one can make their application. We can choose to make it a section, another section, or we can choose to just make it one section, since it is collecting the same information. So after email, one will be requested to enter their name. So we're going to say one will be requested to enter their names. So let's request for their names. So let's say full names, or rather others prefer getting first name, last name, or we can do that because it is more good when you are trying to search for people in your database, and it makes it possible for names or information to be really sorted out well in case of queries. So we are going to go first name, this can be okay. Then this is going to be a mandatory field, yeah, and we can duplicate this, and we're going to say last name. Then we're going to add another section, and we're going to ask for NRC or passport. After this, this is mandatory as well. After this, we want their address. And to be specific in IT, you need to be specific. So we're going to say home address, so that someone knows what we really need from them. And then from there, maybe hobbies, and hobbies. These hobbies now can just be, it can be just something that is not required. That means one can skip it. And if they don't want, they can skip it and just go ahead to completing the application. So yeah, maybe we want highest level of education. Sorry, I'm used to writing education with a capital letter E because it is a very respectable word to write. So here we're going to now leave out some options for them. We're going to say junior secondary, or we're going to just say primary. Then we're going to add another option and say maybe secondary, and tertiary, just like that. And we are not going to put any other, or we can put other for someone to specify. So yeah, let's put other and let's make it mandatory. So now we know that this person is going to be able to come here and add their information, and then that is our beautiful form, and we have done it. So how then do we want to receive the information or the responses? Here the responses are going to be showing here, but then where do we want them to go? So for example, before we go there, if you are done accepting applications, you can always turn off the applications here, and it will trigger that you are no longer accepting responses even from someone who's trying to apply. And this is the message which is going to be showing right here. By default, you can add your own, but by default this is what will be here. So in our case, we are still accepting responses, and now we want to add our own response sheet so that we can start our work of the IT guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back in the Google Drive. Then here's a form that we made, and you can always rename the form if you wish. You can say workshop, music, workshop. This is one way of renaming your form, or rather you can just come here and type it here. So that is just literally one way. So here we're going to create a form, a Google Sheet, which is going to accept our data or responses. So we're going to make it from blank sheet so that it is easily customizable. So what we're going to name this here now, we're going to use this way of naming. We're just going to say music workshop responses. Okay, and in here we've got this sheet, which is responses. You can always rename it as well. We want it to be maybe applicants, so that we are certain. If you wish, you can add other workbooks as well, but for now we're going to use that. And since we have made this, now our work is just to go to the form itself. After going to the form, we are now going to go on this Google Sheets symbol. Then we're not going to create new anymore. If you create new, Google Drive is going to create one for you and link it, automatically link itself to it. But now we want to create ours manually, so we're going to select existing file or spreadsheet. Then from those, it is going to show you which files you've been creating. So I've created these in the past, but today we're going to use this. So you can double click to just link that, or you can select and boom, here we go. And this is the data that we are going to be creating. And of course, don't be shocked, the timestamp is the only field which has been added here. And this is because Google knows that you want to always know what time a certain applicant applied, so that you are not mistaken to either include them or exclude them on your list. Maybe you had a specific time at which you wanted to stop your application. So now for us to then have data in here, what do we do? So let's make a dummy test response to this, or rather application to this form. So what we're going to do, we're going to this preview button or icon and preview So after previewing, we're going to already Google. If you are logged in into your if it is on your phone and you are logged in, it is going to detect your email. Or if you are logged in on your browser, it will detect your email, and you can switch to another email if you wish. But in this case, I wish to use this email, and boom, it is already automated. So it is no use for you to start trying to log in again. So always make sure that you log into your browser or at least phone before you can do anything. Okay, so now let's go and make a dummy or test application by going to the preview button or icon. So as we go there, we've seen that it has acknowledged that this is the account which is which is signed in, and it is required. So you can change, but if you don't want, you can leave it there. But I'm going to go ahead and write it there. I'm going to write it there, Edwin Phiri 1997 at gmail.com. Then the first name is Edwin, the last name is Phiri, the NRC, just something dummy. We can do this and this and this and that. Okay, /1. So here, home address, yeah, we know it's going to be Lusaka, and wherever you stay, whether it's Avondale or maybe Matero or wherever. So I'm going to write Lusaka, Avondale, Lusaka, whatever. And on hobbies, I'm going to leave that blank, but I'm going to write basketball here instead. Although it's basketball, yeah. And songwriter. Okay, and highest level of okay, tertiary, that is it. So we're going to submit that, and after having submitted it, we're going to go then to our form, and we've seen already we have one response there, and that is our test response. And even as we go to our form, we've seen that we have response already, which has been included in here. And so now, before we can go to syncing it offline, if you want to share it with a friend in case they also have a Google Sheets app on their phone, and you want them to also be able to monitor what is happening in the forms, or maybe if it is someone who is responsible for these applicants, then you can go to the share button, then you are able to change. Now it is restricted, but you are able to change to anyone with the link can view, and you can copy the link, then go to done, or rather you can, oh, it is still copying link. So alternatively, you can just add people. You can add whichever you want, whatever, at gmail.com. Then just go and press done, then the link will be shared with them. So we're going to click and do for that, so that we have that response back. So now that we have done the sharing part, we're now going to go to how do we sync this data, so that each time I'm in the office, I don't have to start logging in on my Google Drive, even though I'm already logged in, as you can see in the corner here. But I want to prevent the issue of having gone to Google to always check on what is there and what is there. But I want to just open a folder in my folder on a desktop, and just open the Excel, then refresh it. So how do we do that? So the first thing, from here, we know that we have the information already coming in, and this thing updates automatically. If I write anything, it is going to show you, it will be saving here soon. And that is the thing, it is saving already. So if I clear that out, it is saving again. So it is always automated to always save. And the timestamp is here, just like we mentioned, that response was received at 16:58, 21 seconds that was to 30 to 29 rather. So we are going to then go to our desktop, and we're going to just create a folder. Maybe it's going to be called music workshop again. Then after that, we're going to go in that folder, enlarge it or expand it. Then we're going to create a new Excel. Then we're going to call it music workshop as well. And then we're going to just open it. As it opens, it brings us to the usual thing. I'm going to X out of that. Well, it's going to bring us to the usual layout, and I'm using dark theme. You can always change to any other theme, but it's one and the same thing, and dark theme is more better with your eyes, so it's going to do you good, I promise. If you change to it or switch to it, it has no harm at all. So the first thing we do here, now that we've created the Excel file, we are then going to go back to our browser. So we're going to minimize those, then we're going to go back to our Google Sheet. Then we're going to go to File, then you're going to go to Publish to Web, then you're going to go to, not entire document, we only want applicants, where in short, it has changed to form responses. So we only want, it has changed to form responses here. So we only want form responses, and we are going to go to advanced settings, and we don't want the entire document, but we only want responses themselves to be added. Then other than that, same thing here, responses, and here responses automatically publish or republish when changes are made. That is nice. So what we're going to do, we can choose to web, or if you want, you can always export a comma separated values CSV file, or any other file you want, even a PDF, and maybe import it on your Access database or Excel or whatever. So this time around, we're going to go with web page, then we're going to publish. Then it's going to prompt you, are you sure you want to publish this section? Then we're going to go yes. Then it's going to then bring you a link, which you only have to copy by pressing Ctrl+C or Command+C on Mac. And I'm going to copy that. If you wish, you can go the same old way, right click and then copy. If you wish, you can right click and go to the same link, just so you can see it has been published. So you can close out of that. After copying and you're sure you've copied, you can minimize. Then you can go to your Excel database. So which one is our workshop? It is here, workshop, musical workshop. And what we're going to do in here, we're going to go to data, and we're going to go to data from web. And as we click there, it is going to bring us a window where we're going to have to paste the link we copied from that, from Google, and we're going to press OK. No need to go on advanced, just press OK. It will link, it will create a connection, then it will tell you wait. Then from here to bring you, it will take you to Google, then it will bring you the files you have in that same worksheet or workbook. So we're going to want to select multiple, and let's select this. Oh, that only has the document types, and let's select this, and this is where actually our data is. So now we don't want to load the data just like as it is, first of all. And here is our web view. This is how it shows on the web, and here is our table view. So we're going to go to transform data, and what we are doing right here is we want to make sure we have the right columns and data collected. So we want to first make sure that we use the first row as headers, and so that it acknowledges that the first row is actually our headers. And then we're going to go there on the table again, and go to choose columns, After that, we're then going to deselect this one and the one. Then the timestamp is going to be left because I want it there as well, so that I can see what time someone applied. So I can then click OK, and then I can go to not just load, but I just want to go to not close and load, but I want to find a place where I can save this data automatically myself. Now we have an already existing table, or rather worksheet, of which that is where I want my data to be. So before that, we're going to maybe, in case you had a mistake or you have other information on this sheet, you would want to also create a new one, a new worksheet. And let's in this case create a new worksheet and see what is going to happen. But we know it's going to just create it automatically and put the data automatically there. So we're going to go press OK on that, and then it creates the connection automatically. Then we can go to sheet 1 and just delete sheet 1 because we don't need it unless we're going to create pivot tables in the future. So this right now is the data that we have on the web. So if you want to refresh the data, you can always come here and refresh, and it will always refresh according to your internet speed. So let us prove that we have this information right coming P2P. So what we're going to do is close this file so that we prove that it is being actually saved, and then we're going to save it here. Then let's go to our online database. Then let's go to this form. By the way, you can also add data from here, but now we want to go to add another response. So we're going to close out of this, and then we're going to go here actually and go to preview. Then we want to actually let's use another email address. Yeah, so what we're going to do is now that we want someone else to share or to apply, we're going to go to send. Then we're going to go not via email, but not through embedding. By the way, you can also embed this into your website by copying this shortcode, or you can copy it as a link and send it to maybe a WhatsApp group. But I like the links shortened, so I like to shorten the links and then copy it. You can also alternatively share it to Twitter, Facebook, or via email. So I'm going to copy that, then X out of that. Then let's just change the profile. So let's go to the other Edwin Puri. Then as that is getting logged in, we're going to paste the link and go there so that we can apply. So because Google then recognizes that this email address had already applied, that is why I couldn't do anything but only have edit my response granted as an option there. So we're going to go to Edwin, this other account. Then we're going to put in our email address, and that is what Google does, since it already actually knows me, since I do sign up to a lot of websites, and it knows my data, my names, my passports, and etc. It has just put them readily available and autofilled them. That's what Google does with autofill. So I'm just going to go with my hobbies. I'm just going to go, I also play badminton, and it's been long. Look at my spellings. Badminton. What else? Maybe I also do chess, and I also do photography. Yeah, I also do code, but we're not going to include that here. So other than that, the NRC, we're going to say 111111, not that. Okay, then /11/1. That is our NRC number for now. And what we're going to do is submit that response. So after it has been submitted, we can go back to the form and notice that we now have two responses, and we now can see that we have first names at 100% already, and last names at 100%. Out of the two, we have Piri's and Edwin's as 100%, and that is a quick evaluation, a visual evaluation that Google gives you. You can also choose to view these questions, view this response as per question. So you can go from question 1, first name, question, passport. You can see the first person is EDC, or you can go to individual, and you can always choose from what individual you want to view. That is a good part. So we are now going to go to our form as well. And if in case you closed your form, you can always go back to your form, form. In case you closed your sheet, you can go back to your form and click on this view responses in sheet, and then it will open to you the same window that you had closed by accident. Then from here, we want to now know if this data is being actually really synced into this offline database that we made in Excel. So we're going to go into our folder, Music Workshop again. Then we're going to open this folder, Music Workshop, and we're going to enable editing content. I'm going to X out of this genuine office notification. Now we see that we still have the same old information. I'm coming to the office in the morning, and I'm seeing that now I want to see who else after I knocked off applied as well. So what I'm going to do is go to data, then just click on refresh. Then it will do its magic and make sure it refreshes, and then it is here refreshing, and then boom, it brings us the information. So this is how exactly you can sync your data from Google Sheets to here, and I do that a lot. That is why I had to share this. And as always, just subscribe and like and share my videos to have more of these, and I'll be doing a lot more of videos. And in case you have any questions, you can just go to the comment section, ask questions, or if you wish to contribute to my videos in a certain way, you can comment that. And I luckily provided my emails. You might as well just email me.